Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on where you're watching this video from. I'm Dark Shades and I hail from the east of England, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for passing by, and I hope you like, subscribe or share. When I do my videos, they're usually inspired by something someone has sent to me, a video I have received on WhatsApp, and then I kind of draw onto my personal experiences to express an opinion. And so that's what I'm going to do now. I don't know how many of you saw that film, The Diary of an Angry Black Woman. And that was quite extreme. It came over as her being totally revengeful because of the way he treated her. And then he ended up in a position where he was down and out, and she fully exploited that position. A woman scorned, that can be based on perception. If you're in a relationship and you believe that relationship is going well, you are being considerate, you're being thoughtful. Sometimes we're in relationships where we want to give each other space, and so when somebody is not around for a while, you kind of think, oh well, they're just getting some space, they'll be okay. They'll come around when they're ready. And usually you want your own space anyway. So sometimes you don't even kind of think that anything is wrong. That person hasn't said anything to you. As far as you're concerned, you're on good terms. You're still speaking on the phone. And you just believe that the relationship is just not fizzling out, but you just need to get, the breakup to make up kind of syndrome. So you just let things by, and you realize that sometimes relationships can become boring. So you just separate your ways for a little while. And because the reason for the separation hasn't been communicated by both parties, I mean, on the one hand, if it's the man who's ghosting the woman and he's decided, look, if I can't be asked to tell her that it's over, so I'm just not going to speak to her. She'll get the hint. I mean, I've done that before. I've just decided, look, I don't want to be with this person, so I'm not going to phone. And when they phone, I don't answer it. Sometimes I do, and I'm very vague. And I think, oh, they're going to get the hint. They don't get the hint. People don't get the hint. The thing is with individuals is that some people have more invested in a relationship than others. And they're more prepared to put up with different types of behavior because they're emotionally invested in the relationship. But it doesn't mean that one person feels less. Well, it does. It could mean that one person feels less. It could also mean that one person feels differently. So as one person is thinking, like I did at that time, look, if I don't call, he'll get the hint and he'll just fizzle out. No, 5-10 years later, this person is still calling until I've had to block. And I don't like blocking, because when you block, it's like a slap in the face. But it's like you kind of think that how come, I haven't spoken to you for like 4 or 5 years. I'm sure it's longer than that, probably 7 years. And then every now and then you try to call me. You must know that I'm getting your messages and I'm not responding. Surely you know that I'm not interested. But it doesn't seem to register in some people. In his case, he probably thinks, oh, maybe she's with somebody. I'll wait until she finishes with that person, or I'll wait until she's in the right mood, or one day maybe she will pick up. Maybe if I get her at a certain time, or she's on a downer, she might pick up. Maybe she's going to be happy and she might pick up. So these type of people, they live in hope. They live in hope that, yes, you've been ignoring them. Yes, you've been making yourself unavailable, but it doesn't mean it's over. And that is how some relationships are left up in the air. Now, when you finally tell them that definitively, look, I'm not interested. It's over. If it's a woman, she can get really, really angry. If it's a man, he could get the same, but he might react less emotionally and he might be devising ways to get you back. Who knows? People have different ways to deal with rejection. So even though one party has tried to make it easier not to reject the person outright, the person is still going to feel rejected and behave as though you rejected them face to face. And so you're not really handling it well. What needs to happen is, if you're in a relationship and you're not happy, you need to tell that person you're not happy so that they get an idea that maybe this relationship isn't going to last as long as they thought. But if you are too cowardly and you don't have the guts to let someone know that the relationship is not going well, or you don't, in your head, it's not going to stand the test of time, and you're not telling them, is a kind of a deception, because that person is left believing that everything is okay. You're not telling them that it's not. You're still speaking to them occasionally. Some people still speak to people even knowing that the relationship is not working. Why do they do that? Sometimes I think it's because they want to keep their options open, which is very unfair for the person that they're doing it to or for. Very unfair. I don't think that people should be nice to others when they have no intention, or if they think, oh my God, I'm going out with this other woman. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I'm not sure if it'll last. So I'm not going to tell this other woman. I want to keep all my eggs in. I want to keep my eggs in different baskets, because if I tell this person that it's over and then the other woman ditches me, that means I'm going to be left on my own. So I'm not going to tell this one that I found someone else, or that I'm not sure about us, because I might need to go back. That is a selfish way to think, but that is how some people think. They want to keep their options open. They keep people on hold, and it's not fair. And that is why when a woman finds out that a man does not have her best interest at heart and he hasn't explained it to her, they go on a tirade. And that can be in forms of scratching cars, breaking windows, tearing up clothes. We see people, I saw one video or one film with Cameron Diaz. She threw all the clothes out the window. I saw another one where a woman set all the clothes on fire. That's what happens when you're not honest, when you're deceiving people. And you might think, oh, well, it's not big, it's nothing major. But for the person who's going through that, it is major. It's something serious. And maybe you're not being unfaithful, or maybe you weren't unfaithful at the time that you decided that the relationship wasn't working, but it doesn't matter, because you've been deceptive. That woman is allowed to concoct in her mind whatever she wishes. And that is what happens sometimes. So when they say a woman, be careful of a woman scorned, yes, you really need to be careful, because some women are deadly. Seriously. And some men are deadly, but I'm not sure if they're as calculating, unless they have narcissistic tendencies, unless they have some kind of mental illness. That yes, your ego has been hurt or bruised, and yes, you may feel rejected. And rejection isn't a nice thing. No one wants to be rejected. No one wants to play second fiddle. But it's life. It's what happens. I've been through it. I've been through it with my ex-husband. When he brought another woman, well, he didn't bring her to the house, but she came to the house. And I was confronted with that. But you have to kind of think to yourself, even though I was very, very young, I didn't think at all. I just gave my husband an ultimatum. And at that time, he decided to choose me. But that is beside the point. The point is that in certain circumstances, you're not in a position to give an ultimatum. And especially in a disposable society like we're in now, we're in like a 10-second society. If you don't capture somebody's attention in 10 seconds, it's gone. So we're living in a society where people are just interchangeable. You can change them at whim. And so people are not going to fight for you like they would back in the day. And because they can't fight and because they might feel defeated, they're going to do something to exact vengeance and to kind of make them feel better about the situation. And that normally means acting disproportionately. So I believe in order to stop, that a woman scorned isn't scorned for no reason. She doesn't act out of vindictiveness, usually for no reason, unless, like I say, people have mental issues and, based on their past or whatever. You don't know who you're dealing with people. Sometimes the signs are on the walls, but you don't really pick them up. Sometimes you're so engrossed in your own ego and, the fact that, this woman is doing this or this man is doing this, and, this man is all over me, or this woman is all over me. And it's so engrossed in your own ego. You don't look at the signs of instability in the person that you're with. Anybody who comes on too much or too tight and cannot let go and is overly into you, you have to kind of think, hey, hang on a minute, it's not normal. They need to take care of themselves and their own needs. And if you are the sole occupation of their mind, then you have a problem. And if you try to get out of that situation, you're going to have a bigger problem. And that's what happens in a lot of cases. So it's no point. Women aren't crazy. They're angry because they're hurt. They've been deceived. You failed their expectations and they feel embarrassed. Can you imagine? You're with your friends and you're telling your friends you have this good man. And I remember, I was dealing with a narcissist and he tried to make sure he introduced himself to all my friends through me. I mean, it was under a guise. I didn't realize what he was doing. And he made out like he was the perfect person. Oh, I love her, in front of everyone. That's what they do. They always make these grand gestures in front of people. And they always show that they're buying you this and they're doing this for you. And you're, oh, I love her and I'm going to marry her and all this kind of crap. You know what I mean? They build up this ostentatious declaration of love. Now, where am I going with this? Oh, yeah. My point is that when I was dealing with this person, I had a friend and she used to say to me, be careful of him. You haven't known him very long. Be careful. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, what do you know? I'm old enough to know better. I can sense these things and he's being sincere. But it's not that he wasn't sincere, but it was a very, very controlling relationship and an unhealthy relationship he was trying to form with me. It's just that I have I always believe I'm protected anyway. And I have this spirit of discernment that tells me when somebody or something isn't quite right. So I was fortunate and I take opportunities as and when I see them. I don't wait. If I see an opportunity for my self-preservation, I jump on it. And I've never regretted it. So, but my point was, again, is that when you've got friends and your friends see you in this perfect relationship, it's embarrassing when it doesn't work out. And you have to go and tell your friends, oh, how are you? You look so lovey-dovey last time I saw you. What's going on? And you're saying, oh, well, it's finished, It's embarrassing, whether you've ended it or the other person has ended it. When people see to a couple that is tight and you end up being their role model, their picture of perfection of a perfect relationship, and then it ends, it's almost like it's embarrassing a lot of the times. And you have to get over that and you have to kind of think, well, I'm not going to tell anybody about my relationship, my next relationship, just in case. And so you start keeping your relationships undercover because you're embarrassed just in case it doesn't work. The one that you thought would work hasn't worked. There was ulterior motives. There was deception. There was manipulation. There was exploitation. A gamut of stuff under the guise of this wonderful love. So, how do we avoid angering somebody? No, how do you avoid reacting in a way that, as women, how do we avoid reacting in a way where we are so angry that we do silly things, that we overreact, that we take it personally? A lot of times, the way men behave, it's not personal. It's got to do with their issues and what they want. And a man is not going to put up with a situation that they don't like. They're going to be forever looking for someone else. And they may think that that situation suits them at a particular time. But then if they've made a mistake, then they're going to think, oh, I've made a mistake. What am I going to do? Some men deliberately try to create situations so that the woman will boot them out, so that the woman can end the relationship. But, not many men have got the guts to say to a woman, especially when they know that woman is into them, look, my feelings have changed. This relationship is not what I thought it would be. And I need to let you know that I'm going to be moving out, or I'm going to end this relationship. They don't do that. As much as you see them big and bold, they can't tell a woman in an open, honest way how they feel, why they feel the way they do. You're allowed. You're allowed to change your mind. I've been in relationships and think, oh, bloody hell. Why the hell did I get myself in this relationship? How the hell am I going to get out of it? And I start plotting. And I start thinking to myself, I've got to let him know. And normally, though, to be fair to myself, I'm pretty honest. I let them know why I'm not happy. I don't do it in a cruel way, but they have a hint. But a lot of times you can tell people till the cows have come home that you're not happy. They don't see it as a reason for the relationship, or a reason for incompatibility or the relationship's demise. They don't see it that way. They just think, oh, she don't like this, she don't like that. But it doesn't matter. And I can understand, because if you're in a marriage, I'm not talking about my marriage, but if you're in a marriage and it's in sickness and in health, you are meant to be with that person regardless of all these things that you don't like, regardless of how unhealthy the relationship is. It's a new phenomena that if the relationship is unhealthy or abusive, that you escape. That's relatively new. Back in the day, you had to tolerate that crap. You don't have to tolerate it now. I don't know if it's good or bad. I prefer to be happy and on my own than to be in a relationship and be unhappy and be unhealthy. But it's navigating that situation and explaining that situation to another person. How do you explain to somebody who's put their life on hold for you, or who has been involved in you, or who declares that they love you, that your feelings have changed? And so when men are in that situation, they don't know how to tell a woman that their feelings have changed. So what do? They ghost them, they grey wall them, and they just say, she will get the hint. I'm not going to ring her, I'm not going to call her, I'm not going to go and see her. But because that woman has been so good to them and so kind, sometimes they feel guilty. So if that woman calls them, they'll come up with some kind of excuse and say, boy, I'm being too good, or something's happened, or they'll make some excuse. But they cannot tell that woman, look, my feelings has changed. I don't want to be with you anymore, which is what the woman needs to hear. It still hurt her. It will still hurt. It hurts. But at least, by stringing her along and letting her believe that there's some kind of hope or light at the end of the tunnel, it's not going to be so painful. So stop giving mixed messages. Stop placating women or women placating men. I think it's usually men placating women though. Stop giving hope. Stop saying, I want a break. If you really, this is normally a woman, I think, or it could be a man, you want a break when really you just want to end the relationship. Um, Implying you'll get back, dropping hints that, oh yeah, we'll get back sometime in the future. Playing it safe. You don't want to rock the boat, so you're not saying how things are. And it's about keeping your options open, which is very, very unfair and selfish. You need clarity of intention. You need not to mislead, and you just need to be open. And that's all for now. I hope you found this useful.